How Miami plans to save itself from homelessness. Miami is one of the most vibrant cities in the United States. With its stunning beaches, booming nightlife, and luxury real estate, it's a place where the wealthy come to play. However, behind the glitter and glamour lies a different reality, one of poverty and homelessness. Homelessness in Miami has been a persistent issue for decades, with thousands of people sleeping through the streets every night. According to statistics, there are more than 3,000 people experiencing homelessness in Miami-Dade. For years, the city struggled to find solutions to this problem. But then, what seemed like hope appeared on the horizon. In 2022, Miami announced plans to create a designated zone on Virginia Key for people experiencing homelessness. This move was met with mixed reactions as people debated the best way to help those in need. But before we dive into the controversy surrounding the development, let's take a look at the history of Virginia Key. Virginia Key is a small island located just off the coast of Miami. The island is home to the Miami Sea Aquarium, the Virginia Key Outdoor Center, and the historic Virginia Key Beach Park. For years, Virginia Key has been a destination for beachgoers and nature enthusiasts alike. It has a long and storied history, dating back to the early days of the city. In the early 20th century, Virginia Key was used as a place for African Americans to enjoy the beach, at a time when segregation was still rampant in the United States. In 1945, the island gained national attention when a group of black individuals were denied entry to a whites-only beach in nearby Dade County. In response, some veterans staged a protest, which led county leaders to open Virginia Key Beach for the exclusive use of blacks. In the years that followed, Virginia Key continued to serve as a popular spot for picnics, fishing, and boating. But in the 1960s, the island was targeted for development as the city looked to expand its port facilities. The construction of a causeway linking Virginia Key to the mainland led to significant changes on the island, including the creation of a marine stadium and a golf course. In 1982, the city of Miami faced a daunting challenge as it struggled to keep the beloved Virginia Key Beach Park open to the public. With the operation and maintenance costs skyrocketing, the decision was made to close its gates to the public, leaving a once thriving community oasis abandoned and forgotten. But despite this, local activists refused to let history and significance be forgotten. Thanks to their efforts, Virginia Key was recognized as a National Historic Place, and after years of restoration and renovation, it reopened in 2008. Fast forward to 2022, Virginia Key was once again brought into the limelight due to the plan by city officials to use it to mitigate the city's homeless population. The plan for a designated zone on Virginia Key was ambitious. The plan, referred to as the Transition Zone, called for the construction of a temporary accommodation that will provide shelter, food, and other services for people experiencing homelessness. The city planned to relocate these homeless individuals from downtown Overtown and Little Havana. One of the proposed locations for these accommodations is a stretch of land near the Virginia Key Outdoor Center and biking trails, while another is a state-owned lot under I-95 in Liberty City. According to William Porro, the city's director for the Department of Human Services, the development is an innovative solution to address the needs of the so-called chronically homeless, who are individuals who refuse to go to a shelter, either due to personal choice or the challenges they face with a traditional shelter system. He further stated that the specialized facility that will be created will be managed by an outside firm and will have strict rules regarding drug use, alcohol consumption, and violence. In other words, a zero-tolerance policy will be enforced to ensure a safe and secure environment for all. It is important to note that the transition zone is entirely voluntary, meaning that homeless individuals can choose whether or not to utilize the facilities constructed for this purpose. Commissioner for the City of Miami District 4, Manolo Reyes, clarified that it will not be an encampment or concentration camp and that no one will be forced to participate in the program. With the initiative, the hope was to provide a helping hand to those in need, while also providing a safe and secure environment. It was believed that with the right support and guidance, the chronically homeless can transition to a more stable and fulfilling life. The initiative also held great promise, with hopes that homelessness in the community could come to an end in just 24 months. Now, you might be asking, what exactly will these specialized facilities or accommodations look like? Well, the proposed accommodations would include large tents, capable of holding up to 22 people each. The northern tip of Virginia Key would house as many as 9 tents, with options for up to 150 rooms in total. Each tent would be equipped with air conditioning, bathrooms, and showers to ensure the comfort of the residents. In addition, the plan also includes the possibility of constructing tiny homes on the island tip, which would provide a more permanent and visually appealing solution. Each of these tiny homes was stated to cost about $4,500 per unit. Well, on one hand, some people applauded the initiative, seeing it as a step in the right direction towards addressing the issue of homelessness. On On the other hand, some criticized it as a band-aid solution that failed to address the root causes of homelessness. Part of those who criticized the plan were environmentalists who raised significant concerns about the impact of the project on the island's ecology. Virginia Key Island is without a doubt a natural paradise, home to a rich ecosystem that houses a diverse range of flora and fauna. With the largest mangrove wetland in the state, it is a treasure trove of unique plant and animal life. For instance, the island is an important nesting site for sea turtles and a habitat for a variety of butterfly species, including the Shaw swallowtail butterfly and the zebra longwings. The island's healthy offshore grass beds are also an essential part of the ecosystem. These grass beds provide a home for rich submerged vegetation, such as turtle manatee grass and shoal grass. They offer a place for bottlenose dolphins and Florida manatees to forage. The environmentalists believe that the introduction of homeless people to this delicate environment would have disastrous consequences, ultimately destroying this fragile ecosystem. Outdoor enthusiasts who flock to the island's various recreational areas to hike, bike, and bask in the beautiful nature also feared that the proposed encampment will hamper their ability to spend time outdoors unhindered, disrupting their peaceful retreats. The proposed location, which will be near several outdoor recreational areas, include the Virginia Key Outdoor Center. Added to the anxiety, the center offers pristine beaches and a summer camp that attracts hundreds of locals and tourists each week. Additionally, there is a mountain biking park constructed by the Virginia Key Bicycle Club, which offers trails for novice, intermediate, and advanced riders. The idea of dozens of homeless individuals residing in close proximity to these recreational areas left these outdoor enthusiasts feeling hesitant about returning to the island. They worried that the encampment's presence will also dissuade tourists from visiting and damage the island's reputation potentially. Apart from concerns about the impact on the environment and outdoor enthusiasts, there was another group of people who are worried about the plan to help the homeless on Virginia Key. This time, it was the residents of Fisher Island, one of the wealthiest neighborhoods in Miami. Let's take a closer look at Fisher Island. The exclusive 216-acre island was once home to celebrities like Oprah Winfrey, Mel Brooks, Boris Becker, and Carolina Kurkova. Accessible only by boat or ferry, it is a preferred landing spot for wealthy foreigners who buy up pricey real estate. In fact, according to reports, the residents of Fisher Island in 2020 had an average income of $2.2 million, with around 700 families owning either a home or an apartment on the island. It may seem like a densely populated area. However, only a small fraction of them are actually there at any given time. That's because Fisher Island is primarily a vacation haunt for the wealthy, who only spend a few weeks or months at a time. And when they are there, they enjoy the many amenities the island has to offer. There are 8 restaurants, including several high-end steakhouses, where all charges are billed to residents' expense accounts, so no cash changes hands. In addition, there's a 9-hole golf course with a bird-watching area, and 18 tennis courts made of the same grass as in Wimbledon, and the same clay as in Roland Garros. And to top it off, the island boasts a mile-long private beachfront with sand specially imported from Bermuda. However, the plan to establish a homeless encampment on Virginia Key caused worry for Fisher Island locals. They feared that it could lead to increased crime, especially since the proposed location is just yards away from their neighborhood. As discussions about the proposed homeless encampment on Virginia Key continued, some also raised concerns about the welfare of the homeless population that will be residing in the camp. Advocates for the homeless argued that the plan did not provide essential support infrastructure and services. They cited the lack of resources and transportation, sewage, and food on the island as potential challenges for the homeless. Indeed, Virginia Key Island, which houses only the Maritime and Science Technology or Mast Academy Public Magnet School and a wastewater treatment plant, offers limited options for those in need. The proposed encampment will be about 2 miles from the closest bus stop and 6 miles from the nearest grocery store. This means that the homeless individuals who will be living in the camp will have to walk long distances to access basic necessities. Moreover, some expressed doubts about the sustainability of Virginia Key Island as a residential area for the homeless. The island's climate can be unforgiving, with the heat often becoming unbearable, and mosquitoes can be a persistent problem. Additionally, the island is highly vulnerable to hurricanes, as it is located next to the ocean. People wondered if the city would rebuild the little homes every time there is a hurricane, or if the population on the island will be uprooted every time there is a storm warning. Virginia Key is one of the first places to mandate evacuations during hurricanes. To top it off, the nearest hospital is at least 15 to 20 minutes away, making medical emergencies emergency is a significant concern. Critics argued that the plan would only take the most vulnerable and isolated individuals and remove them from everything they know, isolating them on an island 2 miles from the nearest roadway. The city responded to all these concerns by hosting community meetings and forums to hear the residents' input and address their questions. However, these meetings only showed that people were majorly unhappy about the development, and these people also began to take action. On August 5, 2022, shortly after the plan was made public knowledge, members of the South Florida Paddlers Group, the Miami Rowing Club, and the Virginia Key Bicycle Club staged separate demonstrations around Virginia Key to show their displeasure at the plan. An online petition was also launched decrying the plan, and thousands of people signed it. The backlash received by people was so great that the City Commission had to put the plan on hold, with no prediction as to when it will be discussed again. Residents are still fearful of the project being approved without their knowledge. Although the community's voice was heard loud and clear, it remains to be seen how the city will address the issue of homelessness in the future.